When I think about what makes a woman beautiful, I think about so many different things. I always first look at people's eyes. I think they're like the most distinctive quality of when I look at people.
Not feeling like she needs to please society or family, but knowing who she is because that's who she wants to be and that's who she needs to be.
I've grown up with kind of two beauty standards, sort of having been in the West. They sort of have a different stance on how you should look compared to like when I was in India. So I don't know. I feel confused, I think, with how I look overall. I can't say I like it and I can't say I hate it at the same time.
Beautiful, thick eyebrows. That's what we have.
Really long eyelashes. And mostly full lips. Really thick hair.
Yeah.
You're very hairy.
Very hairy. Very hairy.
When I just started high school, like we had to wear the skirts. So I didn't shave and I was pretty hairy. And I remember looking around me and seeing all these girls with like hairless legs, and then there's me that's really hairy, and no one really pointed it out, but I could feel as though I stood out. And I think that really impacted me because I felt less of a woman, like less of a girl. I felt less feminine.
Plus, a lot of the people I'm surrounded by, they barely have any body hair, and the guys always kind of just look at you weird if you do have it. Like, I get picked on so much by my friends sometimes, just as jokes, but like, yeah.
Talking about it, and then people's response is instantly, oh, you can get laser or you can shave. Like, no, I want to accept who I am and I want to love this hair. I want to love it and I want to like show it off. Like, I don't want to have a problem with it and I don't want to get rid of it. This is me, and this is part of being Indian.
I used to get bullied about being hairy. This guy once said to me, "Your legs are so hairy. Are you a woman or a man?"
Someone has literally said, "Oh, you're pretty for an Indian girl." And I was like, I usually never go for Indian girls, but you know, like, you're a pretty Indian girl. And I was like, that's not really a compliment. That's like talking down all my sisters.
At first, it's like it feels good, and then afterwards,
when you're
you
younger,
realise, and it just makes you more insecure and more sad.
When someone tells me I look mixed or asks whether I'm full Indian, or says I don't look full Indian, I ask them, what do you know about how Indians look? How dare you make assumptions? How can we all look the same when we come from so many different ethnic backgrounds? India is not just one form of beauty, and if you think you don't know what an Indian woman looks like, then you can't say that an Indian woman doesn't look Indian.
If you have dark skin with like white features, you're pretty. If you have dark skin with any type of ethnic features, you're unattractive.
I used to get called Big Nose in primary school, and that's kind of fucked. Like, I really wanted to get a nose job for such a long time. I've kind of lost. If I get a nose job and I adhere to Eurocentric beauty standards, then it's kind of like, what do you stand for?
I'm so sick of people saying, oh, I love your hair so much more better when it's straightened. Fuck you.
There would be like millions of industries that were broken.
Same thing with henna. When I was younger, I'd wear henna to school and everyone would make fun of me, be like, what's that on your head? It looks so bad. And then when I got to high school, everyone's all the white girls are putting on henna as like a fashion trend.
They're going to Bali, they're getting henna.
They want your skin, they want your culture, but they don't want any of like the pain and the hardships that come with it.
I think it's just all these nuances that you don't realise until you're older. Like, just being ashamed of like eating lunch at school because you're like, will it smell? Or like just when we had like bake sales and stuff at school, and my mum would always be like, let's bring this, and I'd be like, no, mum, let's make cupcakes. I don't want your butterfee.
It's so hard to try and find where the sweet balance is because there's just so many different ways that people view Indian women. They're like, oh, but yeah, you're a cool Indian. It's kind of like, what the fuck does that even mean?
I think people are just desperate to put us in a box. It's the only way they can like process.
From my mum's perspective, for her, the value of a girl hangs on how much respect she has within the community.
You just don't talk about things like that. Like everything I learnt about, like, you know, even like sex and stuff, it's all from school.
You're constantly having to explain your choices.
Like our parents aren't going to teach us this, that, because that's rude. And
they think they're encouraging it.
And then they say it's because we're trying to protect you, or because it's not that we don't trust you, we don't trust society, but you're also part of society. Other Indian women being seeing, you know, how our bodies are, not feeling ashamed of our hair, of our weight, of our hips being high, of our big bellies and big breasts. And in the moments that you can feel completely comfortable in yourself, they're so sacred and they're so rare. And I think, you know, if we were to be able to experience that even more often, even all the time, I think things would just be a lot easier.